Listen, guys, mindset is everything. And I know I'm always coaching mindset and talking about mindset, but it is everything. Okay, listen, guys. So I need you to watch this video, plug in while you're driving. Just make sure you watch this and make sure you put a thumbs up or let me know in the comments that you guys do watch this, okay? And also at the end of the video, I'm gonna ask you to do something too as well, okay? So let's dive into it, guys. First off, Shireen, awesome job. Little shout out right there. Shout out. She got on the InBody earlier and was down like 3-4% body fat. So killing it. Tim, killing it. Like some of you guys are killing it and some of you guys aren't, okay? But listen, today we're talking about why. Today we're talking about how you change. Today we're talking about mindset, the importance of mindset, and how you work as a human. And when I finally understood this completely changed my life, okay? Now listen, most of you, or most of society, wants to sell you lies, wants to tell you what you want to hear, wants you to conform to everyone else, and wants you to be out of shape, wants you to be sick, wants you to be broke, and wants you to be in the system, guys. You have to wake up to this. Right? When I say most people are asleep, I'm not being offensive. Okay? I was once asleep. It just means lack of awareness. Going through the motions, in the system, in the matrix, in the code. Okay? But it's probably all you know. At one point in my life, I never plugged into anything else. If you told me to read a book or if you told me to study the mind, I would have gave you the middle finger. I would have called you a hippie. I was ignorant. I didn't know. I was stuck in a box. I was fixed. I had a fixed mindset. I was not growing. I was slowly dying. Slowly tiptoeing and hoping for a safe death. That's what most people are doing. Right? Scared to death of change. Tiptoeing through life, trying to be safe, and then hoping for a safe exit. Today we're going to talk about the truth, guys. Today we're going to talk about personal responsibility. We're going to talk about mindset. And if anything I say is offensive or it triggers you, good. But you need to have awareness that you are reacting. Okay? You are giving me power instead of just listening to what I have to say, taking it in, think about what I'm saying. Stop giving everybody control over you. Reacting? Come on. Respond. You can either accept what I'm saying or you can reject what I'm saying or completely neglect it. It's up to you. But I promise you, if you truly listen with your emotion, some of the things that I'm telling you or showing you, about to show you, will change your life, guys. So listen, let's get into it. First thing, most people are trying to change everything around them and they don't even know who they are. They don't even know who they are. How can you change something if you don't even know who you are? Most people think they're their name. Oh, I'm Kyle Settles. No, that's my name. That's 2 words. Or where I was born. I was born in Kentucky. That doesn't mean anything. Or my husband or my wife is this. Or I work, this is my career. You're none of those things. If you were going to take a day off or call in to work sick, are you calling in and saying, my body, if you're not in your name, are you calling in and saying, my arm or my body wants to take the day off? Who is the I? I am Kyle Settles, right? I am John. I am whoever. Who is the I? And this is the part where we need to understand. Like, you are nothing but a spirit in a physical body. And you were born with an intellect, okay? So look, spirit, Intellect, physical body. SIP. Get to know this. Okay, you are not your name, you are not your body, you are a soul inside of an avatar, a body, and you were born with an intellect. But we need to learn our intellect and how to use it and how we work. Think about it real quick. Who is the I? Okay, I am Kyle Settles. I'm not Kyle Settles because that's my name. Who is the I? Do you ever think about this? Maybe you haven't. But I need you to understand you're so much more than who you think you are. So much more. Okay, so first you are a soul in a physical body born with an intellect. And your intellect is your mind, your ability to think. Okay? Now, when we talk about a mind, right? Let me ask you something real quick. I want you to picture your refrigerator, your car, your clothes, your job, the roads, the street signs, the traffic lights. You think in pictures, right? Those pictures popped up in your mind. Now I want you to think about your mind. You probably think about your brain. Most people do. But I want to give you a picture so you can see what the mind, this picture changed my life. Here's the mind, guys. On top is the conscious. On the bottom is the subconscious. Okay? Here's the body. And here's the result. This is where you want to go. Right? We're always trying to grow. We're trying to lose weight. We're trying to get in better shape. We're trying to make more money. We're trying to have happiness, health, and wealth. Happiness, health, and wealth. This is what we're all shooting for, guys. But we have to understand who we are, how we work, and how we change. Okay? So here's the mind. Here's you. You want to go here. Now let's talk about your programming and how we work, why you think a certain way. Okay? When you were born with just the subconscious. So from the time you were born, actually 6 months in your mama, the subconscious was wide open, guys. Wide open. Your physical faculties, your higher faculties were not yet developed. Okay? So from the time of you were born to 8 years old, your subconscious is wide open. So environment, your family, their friends, everything is being plugged in, which is creating fixed ideas in the mind. Okay? And these fixed ideas in the mind is what is still controlling you to this day. There's a song that they made up. I forget who sings it, but it was, you better get to them before 8 or it's too late. You better get to them before they're 8 or it's too late. What they're referring to is that if you don't plug the right stuff into your kids or into your children, by the time they're 8 years old, all of these fixed ideas that are in the subconscious mind will run their life. So I can take an 8-year-old and tell them what they're going to be like at 58 years old. I can take an 8-year-old and tell them pretty much what they're going to be like at 58 years old. Because the subconscious mind runs everything, guys. It's been programmed. Okay? Then the higher faculties are formed. Okay? Then we start going to school. Then we start getting around teachers, other friends, other people that are programmed. We get into the system. So from 8 years old to 22 years old, we're still plugged into the system. We're never understanding how the mind works, how to use the mind, how to create abundance, who we are, who you really are. And we're just following the system. We're just conforming to what everyone else is doing. So listen, guys. Regardless of whether you believe me or not, just listen to what I'm saying. Remember, you have the ability to accept or reject. Now remember, the subconscious mind runs 95% of your day-to-day. 95% of your habitual thinking and your habitual behavior comes from the fixed ideas that are in your mind. The fixed ideas on money, the fixed your self-image, the fixed ideas on the world, right? On reality, on the way the world, your world view. Everything, religion, everything. Somebody else has plugged into you and put their ideas, their thoughts, their beliefs, their limitations, right? Limitations is a big one. Their limitations on you. You weren't born with limitations. Somebody gave you them. Either your family, your environment, friends, complainers, little shit kids or shit people that you grew up around. Somebody put limitations on you. And you still have them. And they're in the subconscious mind and they're holding you back from getting the life that you want. So listen, guys. You have higher faculties, or you have physical faculties. Physical. And then you have higher faculties. Well, right over here. Okay, we're not going to dive too deep, but I want to give you guys an idea of what is going on and what is holding you back from getting whatever you want. And remember, your subconscious mind, your paradigm, your belief system, there's 150 different words for the subconscious mind. Okay? But your subconscious mind, your paradigm is your belief system. The fixed ideas that are in your mind that are running your day-to-day. 95%. Okay, the conscious mind runs about 5% of your day, guys. You can either accept or reject what I'm saying. The emotional mind, the subconscious mind, the emotional mind, the subconscious mind that is below the conscious where you're not aware, it can only accept. It cannot reject. So whatever you let into the conscious mind automatically goes into the subconscious mind. And if there are repetition, if you're continually listening to the same music, right? Let's look at what we plug into. Music, news, radio, work, same friends, right? Same complainers, we'll call them. Maybe you have some good friends. Most people are complainers, right? You can see where I'm going. Most people are plugging into the same thing over and over and over. And through repetition, right? Through repetition, you start to build ideas, right? Ideas on all these things, depending on what you're listening to. Music, nothing but shit. Music is programming, guys. If you're listening to the radio and most music, I'm telling you what, listen to the words. It's either talking about booty bumping rap music, or it's talking about sad country songs and how they got in a bad breakup, or they're talking about how they were depressed and sick. Yeah. You have to be careful with what you're listening to. There is good music out there, but you need to do your research, okay? Or else somebody will program you. News, negative. Radio, negative. Work, probably negative. Stuck in the system. Maybe you love what you do. I hope you do. I hope you love what you do. Work, most people going through the motions, stuck in the system, asleep. 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours a day. Doing something they don't even like. Friends, most of the time complaining. Standards, no standards, low. All this being plugged into, right? So all of this is coming in. And then guess what? Through repetition, right? Because remember, your days are pretty much the same. They start to build fixed ideas in the mind. Get it? And now you're on autopilot. Autopilot. 95% of your day is ran by your subconscious based on what you are plugging into. You are programming. You are in a program. You are programmed. Period. Your physical faculties. You can hear, you can smell, taste, touch, and see. Guys, I don't know if you can see my dog, Lola. Loli. Hi. I have my German Shepherd right here. She can do the same thing. She can see, touch, taste, hear, and smell. Now, let's look at the higher faculties. You have the ability, you have the will. The will means you have the ability to focus, right? You have intuition, which is basically God, right? Because you are an expression of God. That is your higher self, right? That gut feeling when you know something is wrong or right, or when you feel certain people's vibrations. It's intuition. You were born with it, okay? You have the will, you have intuition, you have perception. You have the ability to change the way you see something. You have the ability to take your lenses off, put somebody else's lenses on, and completely make something ugly, make it pretty. Make something pretty, make something ugly. You have the ability to look for the good, or you have the ability to look for the bad. But based on your conditioning, your programming, since day one, autopilot, we are conditioned to look for the bad, guys. There's a law called the law of polarity. And the law of polarity is there's opposites, the law of opposites, right? If there's an out, there's an in. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If the tide goes in, the tide goes out. If there's a yes, there's a no, right? If there's a good, there's a bad. And if there's a bad, there's a good. The problem is our perception and our focus and what we're looking at. But the problem is that we're brainwashed. We're programmed, we're conditioned, autopilot, to look for the bad, and then you get bad. So you have the will, you have intuition, perception, you have the reason. So reason, you have the ability to think, guys. So you can either inductively think or deductively think. Inductively thinking is actually thinking, using your higher faculties, right? Looking at the good, looking at the bad, right? Accept or reject, right? Using your imagination, using your memory, which I'll write up on the board, right? You have the ability to reason. Or deductive reasoning, which is what? Conformity. Waiting to be told what to do. Most people are conforming in life on autopilot because they've been programmed and conditioned, and then are waiting for someone to tell them what to do and are conforming to what everybody else is doing. Conforming to everyone else. We have to wake up. You have imagination and memory. Imagination, memory. Most people are using their imagination and imagining the worst. Why would you imagine the worst? God gave you the ability to see the future, to dream, to show you what's possible. Because anything that you can see in the mind, you can hold in your hand. You can bring to form. Anything. Memory. We have the ability to remember what we learned. The problems and the adversity and the experiences that we go through. Right? Don't touch the stove. It's hot. We learn from it. But most people are stuck in the past because they don't know how to think. So they think that the problems that they had in the past, the adversity that they've gone through, we all have adversity, right? And there's no adversity or no problems that are any worse than anyone else because it's relative. It's all the same. The only difference is how does someone either react or respond to the past. But how do we respond if we don't understand how to use our mind? Then we're all stuck in the past. We're all living in yesterday, in fear, in doubt, in worry, and depressed. Why? Because we haven't been taught this. Okay, so you have your higher faculties and you have your physical faculties. We have to stop living over here in the physical side. We have to start using our higher faculties so that we can change our programming, so that we can change our life, so that we can create the life that we want, guys. Okay? You have to understand this, okay? Now listen, the last thing I want to say, or last couple things, there is a power, right? Where's my rag? So you guys got the drift, right? News, music, radio. Most people are plugged into the same shit. Notice there's no self-development up there. Notice nobody's plugged into that. Very little people, guys. You're not taught to do that. You're not taught to read. You're not taught to learn. I wasn't taught that. I never wanted to read a book after school in my life until I woke up. We're not taught that. We're not taught to grow from the inside out. We're not taught to go study and learn and create and be happy and use your imagination. No. Most adults are asleep. Most adults never dream anymore. It's sad, but that is what the world wants. Society wants you to be asleep, wants you to conform, wants you to be overweight, wants you to get sick, wants you to be broke, wants you to need the system. And you know what? If you're watching this and you're okay with that, to each his own. I can only give you my truth and what I've learned. But if you're wanting to protect your own truth, to hear the real truth, that's on you. Okay, so let's go. There's a power that runs here, right? That is flowing to us and through us all day long. And if you're on the science side, they're going to call it energy. And if you're on the theology side, they're going to call it God. Or you can call it the Creator. You can call it whatever you want. There's 150 different Christians in the state of California. Whatever you believe is on you. But what I'm saying is there's a power that is running to us and through us all day long. The same thing that grows the trees and changes the weather and grows the grass and keeps your heart beating and your lungs breathing while you're completely asleep, not even having to think about it, and your food digesting, the same power is this. Either energy or God, but they're both the same thing. Whatever you want to call it, you're still believing in the same thing, okay? So we all have this power. We are all born with these higher faculties. We are all special. We are all the same. The only difference is your programming based on your parents, based on your environment, where you come from, what somebody has plugged into you. And once you understand this, right? Understand that you are a soul in a physical body, born with an intellect, and that somebody else programmed you, gave you all of your limitations, all of your fixed ideas that are in your subconscious mind, you can then begin to change it. But we cannot change something that we do not understand, guys. And this picture is what has changed my life, because I woke up and I realized that I was able and capable, and that I could do, be, and have whatever I wanted. And that if I had any limitation at all, I understand that it didn't come from me. It came from somebody else that I was around that plugged that nonsense into me. But it's now up to me to take personal responsibility to reprogram myself. And you can only reprogram yourself the same way that you were programmed in the first place. You have to control what you are plugging into. Guys, what are you plugging into? You've got to change this so that you can change the ideas that are going into your conscious mind. And through repetition, we can start to impress new fixed ideas in the mind, and then these limitations, money, they start to go away. And you start to create new ones because you're plugging into new stuff. But you can only do it through repetition, guys. Through focus. Through being uncommon. Through being different. Stop being like everyone else. You want to make a shit ton of money? You want to be fit? You want to have a family? You want to have lots of love? You can have anything you want. You've just been programmed to think that you can't have what somebody else has. Somebody else programmed you. Wake up. Somebody else put that shit on you. You are special. You and me, we are the same. We just have different results based on what we are plugging into. And this is why self-development is everything. Everything. And you can't change your life if you don't even know who you are. Most people don't know who they are. They think they're just this human with a name and a fucking job and born in fucking Kentucky or wherever you're from. Are you kidding me? Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Okay? But this is how it works, guys. And if we can plug into new information, and then we have new fixed ideas in the mind, our autopilot is changing. Our habits, these are habits that keep repeating themselves over and over and over. Right? If we have new ideas in the mind and a better attitude because we're thinking differently, we're using our imagination, we're self-developing, we're learning, we're going to seminars, we're learning new stuff. We've got new habits. We're vibrating. We're nothing but energy, frequency, and vibration. We're now vibrating higher. You're either vibrating low, right? You see those people. Their vibrations are low because their attitude is low, right? You can read it on them. Next time you're in class, guys, or next time wherever you're at, look at the people. You can read them. Remember, the outside of you is a reflection of what's going on the inside. The way you think, your vibrations, you can read it. And if somebody is good and thinking good and has high vibrations, they're high. They have a good attitude. Okay? They're vibrating at a different frequency. Which guess what happens whenever you've got new ideas, new habits, and you've got a good attitude? You're now going to take different action, which will get you to your result. The new you. But we have to change the programming. And this is why most people go backwards. They do a 6-week challenge. They do a 12-week challenge. They lose weight. And then guess what happens? They never plugged into different stuff. They just changed their food for a while. And they worked out. Guess what happens? The old programming just pulls their ass right back down to where they were. Until you change the paradigm. Paradigm. You have to change the paradigm, guys. And this is your belief system. Until you change the paradigm, you will not change the result. You will stay the same. And remember, you can only change the paradigm through changing what you are plugging into, through repetition. Through repetition. Repetition is the mother of all skill. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You will start to build new ideas in the conscious mind that will eventually go in the subconscious mind, which we then call a fixed idea, a habit that replace the old habits because you're becoming a new version of you and everything starts to change. You are changing from the inside out, and then the body starts to reflect what is going on inside the mind. Your environment, your bank account, everything starts to reflect what is going on inside your mind. But we have to understand physical faculties, higher faculties. You are a soul in an avatar, a physical body with an intellect. We have to understand how to use our intellect. We have to understand that we're all the same. We are all so special. This is going to take you plugging in. Watch this video. Watch it again. I guarantee it, if you watch this video 3 times, 4 times, every time you watch this video, you will see something different, not in me. You will see something different in yourself. Like the light will start to shine brighter. You need to understand this. This picture, if you pay attention, watch it again. This picture will change your life, will change your kid's life, will change your parents, or I'm sorry, your husband, your wife's, will change whoever you are around most. It will change your freaking life. But this is how we work, guys. This is a picture of the mind. I know it looks like chaos right now, but you have to understand this is how it works. This is how it works. I hope it's clicking. I really hope it's clicking because it is life-changing. I mean, imagine, guys. Imagine if you changed subconscious or shit. Imagine if you changed what you were plugging into. Imagine if you were self-developing. Imagine over here if you got a new environment. Imagine if you, instead of the radio, now it was an audiobook, right? Maybe you changed, instead of Netflix, whatever, walking, study, a different activity, whatever, guys. Use your imagination, but get away from the crap. Imagine these new things going in here and then going in here and creating a new you. You have to get this, but you're going to have to change what you're plugging into. If you want to change your life, if you want to change your future, your family, your kids, you need to teach your kids this. You need to pay attention. You need to get out of your programming. You need to get out of the system. You need to take full control, personal responsibility of why your results are the way they are. And they are only the way they are because of the fixed ideas in your mind, what you are plugging into. All those freaking limitations, I can't, I'm too busy, I've got work events, my husband, my friends, I'm going on vacation, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It doesn't mean anything. It does not mean anything at all. Because everything is up to you. You either do or you don't. And it does not mean that you don't enjoy the process. I love working out. I love studying. I love being mindful. I love being aware. I love growing. If I could tell you one thing, growing is everything. And when we are not growing, we are unhappy. We are not fulfilled. Growth is everything. And it starts from the inside out, guys. It starts with your mind. Your body is just the vehicle. Just the vehicle for your mind and your soul. What controls your body? Your mind. What you plug into it. Your body doesn't control your mind. Your mind controls your body. Your mind controls your fork. Your mind controls your decisions, everything. Change your mind, change your life. Change your input, change your output. So listen, guys, I hope you have watched this. If I'm going to be completely honest, probably most of you didn't. But if you did, write 1% in the comments. 1%. I don't know how long this video is, but I can tell you what. This video is probably the most important video that you could ever watch because it's about you. And it's about who you are. And it's about how you can change your entire life and actually get the results you want and actually create the life that you want. But we cannot do that until we understand who we are, what we are, how we work, and what we're capable of. Okay? I hope you guys got so much out of this video. Watch it again and again and again and again and again. And take notes. Stop the excuses. Stop. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're busy. Nobody cares. And this is, I love everyone. I love you guys. But I'm giving you the truth. Nobody cares that you're busy. Nobody cares that you're trying. Nobody cares. You're either growing and self-developing and getting the results and getting a coach and plugging in, or you're not. Other than that, it's just fake. You want sympathy? It's feeling sorry for someone. What? Victim? Victim mindset? It's not taking responsibility. So, there it is. I could keep going. But you guys have an amazing day. Watch this video again, and I'll talk to you guys soon.